Castles are built to fit royalty and all the grandeur that they possess, and there is no place in the world better known for its rich history and beautiful architecture than Europe. It is therefore undeniable that Europe has one of the richest troves of the most beautiful castles in the world. In today's video, we're going to be looking into the most exquisite castles in Europe. With all its majesty, splendor, and luxury, what does it take to own one? Here are the most beautiful castles in Europe. Château de Chambord, France. The Château de Chambord, situated in France, is one of the most beautiful castles, embodying the distinct French and classical Renaissance architectural styles. An hour's drive away from Paris, it was built in 1547, and for starters, the castle features over 84 staircases, 282 fireplaces, and 440 rooms. Inside the castle is a horse-drawn carriage with saddlery made by Hermes, a chapel, and displays of wildlife-related art from hunting adventures by previous kings. On its rooftop is a wide outdoor cityscape area with towers, turrets, and chimneys that provides visitors with magnificent views of the countryside. Its most prominent feature is the unique double helix staircase, which design is attributed to the world-renowned painter Leonardo da Vinci due to similarities in style. It also has a restaurant and souvenir shop to which tours visiting the place can purchase memorabilia to commemorate their visit to the chateau. Spiš Castle, Slovakia. Located in eastern Slovakia, the Spiš Castle is one of the largest and most magnificent castle sites in Europe. In the early 18th century, the Saki family, who were the last people to have lived in the castle, left the place because it was too uncomfortable to live in. By 1780, a fire had caught its glory ablaze, which is the reason for its old, abandoned facade these days. Now, it is included in the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites since 1993 and enjoys at least 200,000 visitors every year despite being in a constant reconstruction and renovation process. Archaeological research is frequently carried out here due to its rich historical value found in the castle. Swallow's Nest, Crimea. Being a symbol of Crimea's premier southern coastline, the Swallow's Nest is one of the most beautiful castles in Europe. It is albeit one of the smaller castles on the list, measuring only 66 feet long and 33 feet wide. It has two different bedrooms at different levels of the building, with walls both stuccoed, painted, and designed with wooden panels. It also has an observation deck that overlooks the sea and the Yalta shoreline. If the building seems like a familiar facade, it is because Swallow's Nest is featured in several films during the Soviet era, including Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. Château de Versailles, France. A UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1979, the Château de Versailles is one of the most exquisite castles there is in France. It is also one of the most visited historic sites not just in France, but also in the entire world, with almost 10 million visitors annually. The castle was a former royal residence located just 12 miles to the west of Paris. It stood with grand walls and ceilings, portraits, and ornamented sculptures, predominantly in the styles of French, Italian Renaissance, and neoclassical architecture, defining its extravagance and history. Château de Versailles is enlisted as one of France's culturally significant monuments after many former rulers lived in the palace, rendering Versailles the de facto capital of France until their eventual return to Paris in 1789. Ashford Castle, Ireland. Ashford Castle, located in Ireland, is one of the most glorious castles-turned-hotel in Europe. The castle was built around 1229 by the Anglo-Norman House of Burke on 350 acres worth of land along the Loch Corb shores, and has since been passed on through different people, through battles, and renovated through royal grants over the years. With a history that spanned over centuries, the Ashford Castle was purchased in 2013 and eventually converted into a 5-star hotel. It has 82 guest bedrooms with various amenities and food to select from, with a price range of around $800 per night. In 2017, it was the first Irish recipient of the Best Hotel in the World award given by Virtuoso. Frederiksborg Castle, Denmark. Built as the royal residence of King Christian IV of Denmark and Norway in the early 17th century, the Frederiksborg Castle is the largest residence built during the Renaissance era in Scandinavia and is said to have been built as a show of wealth and power. In 1859, a major fire hit the castle and had only left the chapel and audience chamber in place. The royal family decided to no longer live in the castle even after fundraising activities were done to rebuild the place. It now sits on 3 little islands in Hillerød with a wonderful view of its exceptional gardens and is currently used as Denmark's Museum of National History and houses various collections of paintings, portraits, and photographs. Schwerin Castle, Germany. With 653 rooms, a throne room, gilded iron doors, and an ancestral portrait gallery, the Schwerin Castle is one of Germany's oldest and most beautiful buildings to date. With its history traced back to 942, it is said that the castle did not take its final shape until 1847, when Grand Duke Frederick Franz II took to his initiative to renovate the structure. He instructed that the renovation must stay true to its origins, yet would also coincide with modern architectural developments during that time. Tourists are welcome to visit the castle and explore its amenities, such as its beautiful gardens, restaurants, and halls. However, urban legend says that people need to be a little careful as the castle's resident ghost, Little Peter, still lives there. Penha National Palace, Portugal. Just 40 minutes away from the capital of Lisbon, the Penha National Palace is an astonishing view to enjoy. With shades brighter than most castles and cartoonish scenery, it is one of the most unique facades that Portugal has ever built. It is decorated with a variety of architectural styles that visitors could see once they climb up that castle's hilly landscape. Its interiors have been intricately carved to the bone from walls to ceilings, along with an all-white reception room. Built during the 19th century to King Ferdinand II for the summer home of the royal family and was heavily renovated over the years until the royal family's abolishment in 1910. The castle was restored in the 20th century and belongs to the cultural landscape of the mountains of Sintra. It has also been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1995. Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. The Neuschwanstein Castle is one of Europe's most enclosed and private royal residences and is unarguably one of the most beautiful and fairy tale-like castles in the world. Former Bavarian King Ludwig II built the castle in 1868 as a way to escape troubles brought upon by politics and his leadership after Bavaria was conquered by Prussia. It had served the king well during his stay with the many guest rooms in place, mountain views, and solace that it had offered amid the monarch losing his kingdom. 2 decades after it was used, the king never saw the structure finished, but it eventually opened to the public for viewing. Rumor has it that it had served as the inspiration for the castle depicted in the Disney movie Sleeping Beauty. It has become one of the most attractive destinations in Europe with almost 1.4 million visitors annually. To have owned a castle before, you must have either been part of royalty or you would have needed a serious amount of money to build and maintain one. These castles, built over centuries, though priceless, are now worth billions of dollars in today's money. So, wouldn't you say it's a relief that most of them are now open for the public to see? Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video.